Now one of our more familiar species of ladybird, and this is one of the three main forms of the Harlequin ladybird. And these are just hatching out now as adults, especially on this bit of ivy here. There, look, one in the bottom corner, one tucked away in there, and we've even got a larva here, look. Nearly full grown. Another freshly emerged adult. That orange will darken to become a more sort of ladybird red, shall we say. This ladybird caused an enormous amount of fuss when it first appeared in the UK. Not that long ago. I think it's post 2000. And that's a 10-spot ladybird there. Considerably smaller than a harlequin. Typical, when you want a harlequin, they don't want to be seen. But yeah, harlequin landed in the UK. Found Nottinghamshire's first at Eakin Meadows. I think it was 2005. A great furore was made over the harlequin, and the doom and gloom merchants and forecasters were forecasting that it would see the death of over 1,000 species of invertebrates. Talking of which, this is Lagria hirta. It's a tenebrionid, fairly common beetle. The elytra is densely haired. It almost looks like a peach. They say when the harlequin appeared, all these claims that it was like the angel of death for invertebrates, and even some experienced naturalists were killing any specimens that they saw. And you tend to attribute naturalists with having some brains. And the trouble is, they encouraged the active killing of harlequin ladybirds by members of the public. And members of the public struggle to identify many species. And so the native 7-spot ladybird was getting squashed as frequently as any harlequin ladybird. And the public were doing that in the belief that they were killing harlequin ladybirds when they weren't. But when anything such as the harlequin arrives in the UK, as we look at another larva here, there is really nothing that the organisations and government can do. Horse chestnut leaf miners, another classic case. It's here. It's now everywhere, like the harlequin, and you can't get rid of it. So any efforts to try and eradicate it are wasted. Here's another form. You've now seen all three forms. If I remember right, this is form spectabilis. Cracking things. And plenty of them. you may notice that there's no 7 spots, and that's not because the harlequins have eaten them all. It's because I'm looking on trees, and you don't get 7 spot ladybirds on trees very often, or on walls. The Harlequin ladybirds, they will eat other ladybird larvae, but because of the habitat where harlequins are found on trees, or especially lime trees, so you often get lots of harlequins near old schools where there's old sort of sandstone walls underneath lime trees. And Harlequin ladybird larvae will eat those Harlequin ladybirds, or Harlequin ladybird larvae that are in the process of pupation. Also seen it done with 7 spots, but nothing gets said about that. But you see, when you want money to study something, the government won't give you money to study something that's harmless. But the harlequin's here to stay, so we might as well enjoy it. We've recorded ladybirds for many years, and there are annual fluctuations in numbers, yes. Well, we've never seen any evidence that the harlequin has anything to do with it. I might be biased, because we like it. Always have. Anyway, that's the Harlequin ladybird in numbers. Increasing numbers at the moment as the adults for another brood hatch out. But there's also good numbers of 7 spot ladybirds that's going to be around this autumn. But 7 spots prefer lower vegetation, and so the two don't usually mix. So I accept that the Harlequin ladybird's here to stay, because it is.